America is a great nation. We are the best. We will show the world that we are the best nation. Canadians wish they were Americans. Mexicans wish they were Americans. We will enact these tariffs because we are the greatest and they are not. They suck. We are enacting these tariffs for the American people. I'm not a very good Trump impersonator. In all seriousness, trade wars caused by tariffs have the potential to seriously injure several sections of a country's economy. And this is not a political video of any kind, as I'm not supporting one way or the other, but the fact is tariffs are here. So what can we do to prepare, and how can we ensure that it does not hit our wallet and personal budgets in a massive way? On February 1st, Trump began implementing tariffs on some of America's closest trading partners.
Putting the tariff of 25% on Canada and separately 25% on Mexico.
25% on Canadian imports, 25% on Mexican imports, and 10% on Chinese imports, with more tariffs likely on the way. So if this is the case, does that mean the cost of everything will go up by 25%? We've already seen such high inflation numbers that families are already struggling to make the most basic of purchases. Eggs are up by 37% in the past year, bread by 8%, and since 2021, housing has increased by 34%. But tariffs are a bit more complicated, as there won't be a one-to-one correlation between tariffs and the cost of goods sold within the United States or any country, but there will be an impact. The items most imported from Canada and Mexico, which is where the highest tariffs are landing, are cars and car parts, machinery such as engines and construction equipment, electronics and appliances, and a big one, oil and mineral fuels. Now, Trump had initially said that oil and oil products would not likely be included, or he was at least thinking about it, not including them in this tariff war, but he has including them, which means there will be a direct impact on gas and the energy that we buy. Meaning the cost of gas will likely quickly go up, and estimates are that it will be anywhere from as low as 10 cents a gallon to as high as 70 cents a gallon in some states. Which means that this will impact how people drive. I mean, we can't really afford to not go to work or school or necessary activities, so this will hit us in the wallets and it will hit us pretty quickly. Cars and car repair will see a noticeable rise. A 25% tariff will mean the prices of some vehicles will go up by around $3,000 according to MarketWatch. Now, this does not mean that we should rush out and buy a car now by any means, because the moment that tariffs are removed, which hopefully they will be soon, then prices will normalize and any increase that we saw with the cost of a new vehicle will eventually come down. We also need to remember that the longer that we drive the current vehicle that we own, then the more savings we're going to have. For if we go out and buy a brand new vehicle, that vehicle is going to experience massive depreciation. Now, whether or not you buy a new vehicle is a completely personal decision. But if you can sit tight with that older car that's paid off or is about to be paid off just a little bit longer, then we will be better in the long run, tariffs or not. Tariffs on machinery and construction equipment will have a minor effect on the cost to build a home, repair roads and bridges, or run a factory. But most US businesses will likely hold off trying to bring that equipment in the United States to avoid those tariffs, hoping that those tariffs will eventually go away. Now, one big negative in this specific category is it will likely have an effect on the cost of housing. And the cost of housing, whether that be buying a home, whether that be renting, will likely increase because of this within the United States. We're already experiencing a housing crisis in great proportions, as the cost of housing has gone up by so much just in these past few years. So if you can, plan on having to spend a few extra $100 per month, whether that be rent, whether that be in buying a home, in these coming months if these tariffs last any length of time. With electronics and appliances, we would likely see the cost of things like washers and dryers, microwaves, phones, and tablets increase, by a few percentage points. So again, if we can hold off as long as possible, not upgrading that phone, not buying that new dishwasher, whatever it might be, using the appliances and the phones and the tablets that we have now so that we don't experience the depreciation whenever we buy that new thing, whatever it might be, the marginal gains from using an item longer than we had planned will add up over time. Now, Canada and Mexico have responded with retaliatory tariffs designed to make these changes as painful as possible for the American people so that there's pressure for Trump to take them away, which might mean that layoffs might come. If tariffs stay in place for a longer period of time, due to the cost of doing business within America seeing a rise. So that's definitely something to prepare for. So what is it that we can do as an individual? Will these tariffs have a massive impact on me as a person living in the United States, Canada, or Mexico, or any country that's going to be experiencing these tariff wars? The reality is, in certain sectors of any country's economy, tariffs will have a massive impact. But for the average citizen, the across-the-board raises will just be slight, and it will just mean that we need to buckle down as much as possible to eliminate unnecessary spending, to try to use those appliances or phones or cars or whatever it is just a little bit longer, so that way we don't experience that massive depreciation after we spend all that money on whatever new thing that it is. Take a focus on our money. Make sure that we're spending only where necessary. If that's the case and we can get through this storm, then we will come out on the other side better and more financially suited, ready for the future. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more common sense money tips. If you would, please give us a like, share this video with anybody who might be interested. Until that next video, my name is Tip. I'll see you then.